as the lights are lighting up for the 2016 Spanish Grand Prix and it's underway. He's behind both Renaults. There's the train that we're involved in, which has got both Manas and both Saubers in it, and he's come out ahead of it, I believe. No, ahead of all of them bar one Mana. What on earth caused that? But going on the replay, so Ricciardo was holding it to my left hand side and just tried to make a move that wasn't really ever going to happen. I mean, we do not have the pace to be genuinely beating Rosberg, but as it turns out, going down the DRS straight, we're going to outbrake Rosberg, Palmer and Hulkenberg. We're not seeing him though. Oh no, yes we are. Coming down the start-finish straight, the right-hand side, he is now ahead of us, and yes, we are in essentially a net third place. So, as you can see, a safety car is coming out, as Kimi Raikkonen can see, and Kimi Raikkonen has rear-ended the safety car. Okay, he's on the quicker tyres, but he's in 18th place. So, I don't see, unless he clears cars very quickly, I don't see how this is going to work out for him. We're, pretty easy going, and, all we got to do is clear Carlos Sainz, which we should do quite easily. As I said, I mean, he's on more worn tyres, and it was a pretty easy move in the end, but Hamilton is now right up behind us, and we're both using the same power unit, but he's got slipstream and DRS, and there you go. He's had a pretty easy time of it, coming in later than everyone else. Certainly paid dividends for him, as he's going to come round the last corner to win the 2016 Spanish Grand Prix. So what's going on here? We'll have a look at the podium. So coming out on the podium is Rosberg, ourselves, and Carlos Sainz.
This is Formula One.
Right then guys, so here we are at Monaco for part 6 of my F1 2016 Williams career mode. I'm jumping straight into practice, the track acclimatization, and we're saying mostly purple corners there and DRS zones. Yep, so we've met the purple score just about, but yeah, we have met the purple score. And yeah, so that's going to give us some more resource points, obviously, to upgrade and improve the car further, which is kind of the driving force behind this series. And yeah, onto the qualifying pace, which was a little bit hit or miss. As you can see, a green lap first, and then a not so good lap second of all. And then finally, we did hit the purple lap time just about. But yeah, so all in all, not too bad a practice session for the team. And then onto the laptop, as you can see, Mana have brought some upgrades, and so have Red Bull. So Red Bull, obviously one of our main rivals this season. And as we can see, Red Bull are now the third quickest team, because we saw in Spain they dropped behind ourselves and McLaren. They're now back into third place. We're fifth, so comparatively this is the worst we've been all season. We're going to get an engine upgrade because there's lots of tracks, Canada, Azerbaijan, Italy, lots of ones coming up soon which are going to need a strong engine, so that's why we get the engine upgrade. But anyway, it's on to the qualifying report. Qualifying at the Principality of Monaco began with both Renault and Mana drivers being eliminated. Specifically Jolyon Palmer in 21st and Kevin Magnussen in 19th. While down at the Mana camp, Rio Haryanto finished in 20th with his teammate Verline in 18th. Felipe Nasr and Esteban Gutierrez bookended those eliminated in Q1, with Nasr in last and Gutierrez in 17th. The second session saw both Force Indias knocked out, as well as both Toro Rossos, with Sergio Perez and Daniel Kvyat the quicker drivers for their respective team. Romain Grosjean had a poor session to finish in 15th, whilst Marcus Ericsson had a stunner to finish in 11th, and considering how poor that car is compared to the rest of the field, and also considering his teammate qualified last, is highly impressive. Nathan Quinn for Williams made it into Q3, but crashed at the end of Q2 with enough damage caused to end his run in qualifying prematurely. So while he made it through by over half a second, he was unable to play any part in Q3. The 9 remaining runners in the top 10 shootout finished like this. Jenson Button and Fernando Alonso showed the speed the rejuvenated McLaren car has, although they were still the slowest in Q3. Valtteri Bottas lines up alongside Fernando Alonso, with Daniel Ricciardo and Kimi Raikkonen making up the third row. the other Red Bull and Ferrari driver lined up on the second row, which left the front row to be dominated by Mercedes, with Nico Rosberg beating his teammate by over half a second to take a vital pole position for the Monaco Grand Prix. Right then, so here we are on the grid, on the race strategy screen, and as you can see, the strategy is just your standard one-stop strategy around Monaco, Ultra Softs and Super Softs. And yep, starting the formation lap down in 10th place. Not exactly the greatest qualifying ever. I mean, I just lost concentration, got a bit too greedy and stuffed into the wall. There was kind of no need for that to happen. But realistically, we weren't going to qualify much better because we're the fifth. I'm in the fifth best car on the grid. Comparatively, this car's the worst it's been all season. So realistically, we ain't going to do much better than 10th, really. But anyway, the 5 lights are lighting up for the 2016 Monaco Grand Prix, and it's underway after a pretty decent start. Looks like we might get a jump on Button. What about Alonso and Bottas? Bottas has got off to a really poor launch, going into the first corner to go up the hill, and we just cannot get past Alonso or Bottas. They're just both obstructing us. Button thought about making the move but couldn't do it, so going up the hill we've got the run on our teammate and the Spaniard Fernando Alonso, but it's just not going to happen. There's not the space. I mean, we might be able to dive it up the inside of Bottas, but we couldn't because Alonso's there, and this is going to be a theme of this Grand Prix because, as we know, in Monaco it is notoriously difficult to overtake. And as we can see, going around the Lowe's hairpin, Rosberg's already long gone. He's already pulled out a massive gap from the guy in second, which is Max Verstappen, and then we got some stragglers coming in right at the end there. So let's find out why there's some stragglers. So, start of the race, as we can see, there's a Manor, a Haas and a Force India. So going up the hill, they're going 3 abreast up the hill. This surely cannot end well, and no it hasn't. There's been a 3-car pile-up going up the hill. No surprise there. There were cars going 3 abreast, more have been held up there. And let's actually have a look at what happened there. So, on board with Pascal Wehrlein, and I think we basically know what happened. It was trying to go 3 wide at Monaco. Ain't going to happen. It's just not going to happen, no matter how carefully you go about it. And Wehrlein, he's got Gutierrez to his right and Perez to his left, and just simply that was that. There was not enough space, and you know, I could have told you that. I mean, what can I say? One of them should have backed out of the move. Realistically, not Perez because he was the furthest ahead. Maybe Gutierrez should have. Hulkenberg was behind all of this, and as you can see, yeah, Perez just clipping the wall, going into Wehrlein, and Hulkenberg just the innocent victim in that. I mean, Hulkenberg didn't really do anything wrong. There's nothing else he realistically could have done. So looking from the front of Perez's car, he clips the wall because he's got nowhere else to go. Gets tangled with Wehrlein. Wehrlein then gets dragged into Gutierrez just because of momentum. And yeah, so Gutierrez and Wehrlein are long gone. Hulkenberg gets caught up in that, so he gets pulled into the wall. Perez has got front wing damage. And then we've got a few cars behind, including the Renaults, who are just held up through all of that, because you know they're not going to go steaming through the chaos. They are going to take some caution through that. And anyway, yeah, replay the start from Max Verstappen. So he's alongside Lewis Hamilton, and we got Nico Rosberg leading it, and Verstappen going into the first corner dived at the inside of Hamilton and actually swerved in front of him there very aggressively. Lucky not to cause a crash. Verstappen just being so aggressive to swerve in front and defend his second place. So we could have had a monumental pile-up if that happened as well. And we got Perez coming into the pits. He's going to fit on the Ultra Softs and replace his front wing. I mean, there's no point in him putting on any other compounder tyre because I don't think the Softs will make it to the end. So he may as well stick back on the Ultra Softs, but his race has been destroyed before it's even started. Lap 3, we're up behind Valtteri Bottas still, and we're going to get the DRS. But we cannot get the drive on Bottas. He gets a better drive out of that last corner. And even with DRS, I mean, I think Bottas has still got DRS on Alonso, who's ahead. So, with McLaren technically being the better car, Bottas can't catch up. I can't catch up to Bottas because he's... At this track, I was about as good as Bottas. And even with DRS, I can't catch up. I mean, we're running the same machinery, and he's about as good, if not slightly better than me at this race. We just can't catch up to him, let alone pass him. Jenson Button had the same dilemma being stuck up behind me. But it was worse for him because, I mean, we know McLaren have made a ton of upgrades. but they've still got an underpowered engine, and he just couldn't do anything. It was the constant cycle of everyone being stuck. You know, it was your typical Monaco stock. Nobody could get past anybody. Hamilton suffered the same issue behind Verstappen, so he came in to film some super softs, but he was the first guy in the top 10 to do that, and he came in suspiciously early. I mean, he's failed on the right tyre, but who knows? He's doing something canny to try and jump Verstappen in the pits and then maybe challenge for the lead. Button and Kvyat are going to try and get past us by pitting early, getting the undercut on us. So it's a race between the McLaren and Toro Rosso pit crews. Who's going to come out on top? Is Toro Rosso Kvyat, leaving a ton of smoke in the pit lane there. And yep, Kvyat got the jump on Jenson Button for what is essentially 10th place. But look, they've actually fitted on the Ultra Softs. So they're going to have to come into the pits again. I mean, Hamilton might well have to, because he came in that early. Those two definitely have to. I mean, I don't really know what Hamilton's doing. He might not stop again, but he came in really early, so he's going to have to be conserving his super softs if he doesn't want to stop again. Yeah, and then we got Daniel Ricciardo, who was the first one of the top 10 to pit, who definitely is doing a one-stop. Because Hamilton has question marks over what he's doing. Button and Kvyat, they're definitely doing a two-stop because they fit on a second set of the Ultra Softs. So Ricciardo is going to try and get the undercut on everyone else, which history would tell us that will pay off for him. But who knows, it's Monaco. He's going to need a quick outlap for that to work. And we're up to 7th place temporarily. And we got Bottas in the pits. There's some other people in the pits. It's quite a busy pit lane right now. And we got past Alonso. There's Max Verstappen who came out of the pits. So I think, yep, we're just behind Rosberg, but just ahead of Verstappen. So we've basically destroyed Verstappen's chance of winning this race, because as you can see, we've lost tons of time to Rosberg, which has then reflected on Verstappen losing tons of time as well. So we're going to come into the pits. One of the last to come in the pits, I believe, if not the last in the top 10 to come into the pits. So we're going to come out 8th place at the moment. Hamilton's got back ahead of us. So's Kvyat and Button, so we're in 11th place. Essentially 9th, because Button and Kvyat have to pit again. So, who knows, but we're just less than halfway through this race, so who knows what could happen. A replay of what happened. I think Raikkonen came in the same lap that we did, so I think Vettel came in the lap before Raikkonen, and then, yeah, so Raikkonen and Vettel going longer on their ultra soft tyres. So where's this going to feed them out? Because they were behind Hamilton and the Red Bulls. Vettel's got ahead of Raikkonen, but I think Raikkonen's got ahead of both Red Bulls. Oh, this could be tight though, going up the hill. Raikkonen's going to need a good drive, but I think, yeah, he's got out ahead of both Red Bulls. So that's Max Verstappen though. He's going to try and make the move on Kimi Raikkonen. I don't think he's going to do it. Well, he's got the inside line going into the casino section. But no, Raikkonen's kept 3rd place. And Ricciardo lost time by pitting in too early, and Verstappen lost time because of myself. So I don't think I'm going to be on Verstappen's Christmas card list, because not only have we lost him a chance to the lead, we've also lost him 2nd and 3rd. So yeah, I mean, we got past Button and Kvyat because they came into the pits for their super soft, so they're definitely not stopping again. Because, well, unless they get involved in some incident, I guess they might. And now we've got Hamilton coming into the pits, which means it's confirmed that Hamilton is doing a two-stop this race. It looked like he was going to have to. He came in that early, and he's going to fit on the ultra soft, so he's going to be quite a way down the field, but he's in the quickest car on the quickest tyres. So really, anything can happen right now. So on to lap 28, 11 laps left to go. Lewis Hamilton is behind us. He's got a few seconds behind us on the map. He's maybe 5 seconds behind us, but he's closing at quite a rate of knots. We're in the 5th quickest car. He's in the 3rd. He's in the quickest car. He's got the quicker tyres. He's got the newer tyres, and he's the better driver around here. So quite frankly, the odds are firmly stacked against us. Apart from the fact we've got a quick car in a straight line, and we know how to defend a position. We're at Monaco. It's pretty difficult to overtake. And as you can see, Hamilton piling on the pressure, lap after lap after lap. We were catching up to Bottas ever so slightly, And it looks like actually we've chipped off a bit of our front wing, which is not going to do ourselves any favours there. So, fantastic stuff. But the mirror, the Lowe's hairpin, shall I say, really tight to get around. It is, if you've played this game, you'll know it's not that easy to get around on this game. You do really have to get the steering lock in to be able to make around that corner. But anyway, and now the lack of front wing on the front right is not helping us. Lewis Hamilton's got a good run because we've got a damaged car with worn tyres, and this should be academic. He's going to get past us, and yes, he has. We're going to get the switchback going up the hill, and I think thanks to our Mercedes engine and our low downforce, we're going to just about keep 8th place from him. This is weird. Me and Hamilton in a battle at Monaco for 8th place. Also, don't forget about Kvyat and Button. They're catching up to us because we're battling that hard. Felipe Nasr at the back of the field. His engine's blown up just as we had like the likes of Raikkonen and Ricciardo getting past, and Verstappen. So, a bit of an inopportune time. And in fact, yeah, that really hasn't helped Verstappen, as we will see now. So, Verstappen behind Raikkonen, going into a plume of smoke. Can't really tell what's going on. And now he can see what's going on, but he decides to go into the back of Nasr. He's lost a bit of his front wing, so Verstappen, yeah, he sure as hell won't be getting a podium now, because he's going to be going slower than the guys ahead of him. Lap 36, and we keep looking up those tyres. These tyres have just got no grip at this point. I mean, I don't know how everyone else ahead of us has got some grip left on their tyres, because we've got none. Yellow flags are out, but Lewis Hamilton, he's passed us at 8th place, but under yellow flags, so he's got to give us the position back. Going up the hill, though, he's not going to. Now that is very, very controversial. He passed us under yellow flags. Let's have a look at this. On board, this is how Lewis Hamilton, this is how he would have seen it from his own eyes. So he's up behind us, he's got DRS, he's got the run. But as you can see on the left-hand side, there you go, flashing yellow lights. Yellow flag conditions, don't overtake. But he did. I mean, I assume, since he didn't let us back through, he must have a time penalty. It could be Spain all over again. I don't know, but he passed us under yellow flag conditions. He's already pulled away. But Verstappen's coming to the pits because of his front wing damage. I don't know why he did that. Bit of a stupid decision. But he's come out in 8th place just ahead of us. And in fact, we've got the momentum going up the hill. And it looks like, yep, we're going to retake 8th place. This time taking it from Max Verstappen. But Max Verstappen, we're on destroyed super soft tyres. He's on fresh ultra softs. I don't know why Verstappen pitted in. A bit of a stupid decision, to be honest. But then there's Nico Rosberg going round Raskas and going round Anthony Noakes. Nico Rosberg just taking a comfortable and dominant win at the 2016 Monaco Grand Prix. No one could challenge him, really. Hamilton had a dud strategy. We held up Verstappen, and that was simply, you know, the end of anybody challenging Rosberg. But going round Raskas, we're still in 8th place. Look at our car. We've got no tyres. We've got not a lot of front wing. But we're going to come down the start-finish straight, and it looks like Max Verstappen, he's got a run on us. Max Verstappen, on the run to the line, has snatched 8th place from us. And also helped by the fact Daniel Kvyat, after the race is done, decided to take us out. So that was nice of Kvyat there to just completely destroy his car and our car as well. I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant, really. Nico Rosberg won the race. As I said, no one really challenged him. The second we held up Verstappen is the second nobody could challenge Rosberg, really. So there you go, taking his first place trophy at what I believe Rosberg calls his home race, or one of his home races, because he spent so much time growing up here. So, you know, it means a lot to him to win the Monaco Grand Prix, and it will be all the better considering he's outscored Hamilton by such a long way. I mean, where did Hamilton finish? 7th in the end? Yep, 7th. So, there you go. It was Rosberg, Vettel, Raikkonen, Ricciardo, Alonso, showing how great McLaren have become. Well, how much better they've become to finish 5th. Then it's Bottas, Hamilton, Verstappen, ourselves, and Kvyat taking the last point. 4 DNFers, Nasr, Hulkenberg, Verline, and Gutierrez. So only 2 Ferrari engine runners there. But then again, the only engine blowout was from a Ferrari engine. No surprise there, knowing this game. Drivers' Championship dropped down to 5th. I believe we were 3rd heading into this race, but Ricciardo and Vettel getting decent finishes. Vettel getting a podium, so massively outscored us, and not really a lot to comment on, really. I mean, Button moved up ahead of Gutierrez because of that race and where he finished. Despite the fact he didn't score a point this race. Constructors' Championship, Ferrari have overtaken Red Bull. We're still in 4th, and McLaren have overtaken Haas. This truly is the sign that McLaren are becoming one of the great big super quick teams again. McLaren Honda, the resurgence is truly on. I'll tell you what isn't on is, earlier in the season you will have known that in the rivalry I beat my teammate. Well, we couldn't beat Sebastian Vettel in the rivalry. I mean, we beat him in Spain, but, well, we finished higher than him in Spain, but we didn't in Russia or here in Monaco. So, yeah, we lost out in the rivalry to Sebastian Vettel there. And, yeah, that's that. So, anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Be sure to leave a like, comment. And next time is the Canadian Grand Prix. Now, I've recorded that episode already. And Canada, yeah, there are some interesting goings on that happened in that race. Actually, quite an interesting race. And it does show kind of a weird strategy glitch thing. Almost reminiscent of F1 2015. You'll see it when we get to there. It's quite a dramatic race at certain points. It's one of those races which is dull for 90% of it and absolute chaos for the other 10%. So yeah, guys, I'll see you then.